Good morning, students. Class 8 Social Studies, Civics Chapter 5 Judiciary. In our previous video, we read about the case of Sudha Goyal, in which the Supreme Court decided to send the accused to prison for life. The accused were Lakshman, her husband, and Shakuntala, her mother-in-law. What are the different branches of the legal system? The above case of the dowry death falls within what is considered a crime against society. ये जो dowry का case था, it was a case, you can say, a crime against society and is a violation of criminal law. In addition to criminal law, the legal system also deals with civil law cases, as we have read in chapter 4 of how a new civil law was passed in 2006 to protect women against domestic violence. You can have a look the difference between the criminal law and civil law mentioned here, the 3 points. Read them thoroughly to understand. Now our next heading is, does everyone have access to the courts? In principle, all citizens of India can access the courts in this country. Access, you can understand the term meaning approach. Okay. This implies that every citizen has a right to justice through the courts. As you read earlier, the courts play a very significant role in protecting our fundamental rights. If any citizen believes that their rights are being violated, they can approach the court for justice to be done. While the courts are available for all, in reality, access to courts has always been difficult for a vast majority of the poor in India. Why is it so? The reason is legal procedures involve a lot of money and paperwork as well as take up a lot of time. For a poor person who cannot read and whose family depends on a daily wage, जिनकी income month पे basis नहीं होती है, it's on daily wages, the idea of going to court to get justice often seems remote. The term remote we can understand by it's far from the main center, you can understand. In response to this, the Supreme Court in the early 1980s devised a mechanism of public interest litigation or PIL to increase access to justice. It allowed any individual or organization to file a PIL in the High Court or the Supreme Court on behalf of those whose rights were being violated. यानी कोई ऐसा पर्सन हो जिसकी कोई राइट वायलेट हुई हो, उसके बिहाफ पे कोई भी इंडिविजुअल या ऑर्गेनाइजेशन फाइल कर सकती है PIL इन द हाई कोर्ट और द सुप्रीम कोर्ट. हो सकता है कि उस पर्सन के पास इतना नॉलेज नहीं हो या पढ़ा लिखा नहीं है, तो somebody else can do the initiative. The legal process was greatly simplified and even a letter or telegram, यानी अगर कोई लेटर या टेलीग्राम भेज के एड्रेस पे, कौन सा एड्रेस, सुप्रीम कोर्ट या हाई कोर्ट का, उससे भी ये होता था कि it could be treated as a PIL. In the early years, PIL was used to secure justice on a large number of issues. बहुत सारे issues में इसे यूज़ किया गया था. For example, we have rescuing bonded laborers from inhuman work conditions. यानी आप किसी से ज़बरदस्ती लेबर वर्क करा रहे हैं, तो ऐसा कुछ हुआ था इशू जिसमें उन्हें रेस्क्यू कराया गया था. एंड सिक्योरिंग द रिलीज ऑफ प्रिजनर्स. बिहार में कुछ प्रिजनर्स थे जिनका पनिशमेंट टर्म कंप्लीट हो गया था, बट स्टिल दे वर केप्ट इन जेल. Did you know that the midday meal that children now receive in government and government-aided schools is because of a PIL? Now you can have a look. That means the midday meal program also comes under PIL, that is public interest litigation. For the common person, access to courts is access to justice. The courts exercise a crucial role in interpreting, that means explaining, the fundamental rights of citizens, and as we saw in the above case, the courts interpreted Article 21 of the Constitution on the right to life to include the right to food. They therefore ordered the state to take certain steps to provide food for all, including the midday meal scheme. However, there are also court judgments that people believe work against the best interest of the common people. Now, it's only the belief. For example, activists who work on issues concerning the right to shelter and housing for the poor believe that the recent judgments on evictions, that means the removal of people from the houses where they are living, are a far cry from earlier judgments. That means there is no effect of the earlier judgments here. While recent judgments tend to view the slum dweller as an encroacher in the city. Now the recent judgments look at the slum dwellers, जो slum areas में रहते हैं, उन्हें as an encroacher in the city माना जाता है. Encroachers means जो forcefully enter करते हैं. Earlier judgments like the 1985 Olga Teles versus Bombay Municipal Corporation had tried to protect the livelihoods of slum dwellers. यानी जो 1985 में जजमेंट था उसके अकॉर्डिंग इट वाज प्रोटेक्टिंग द livelihoods of slum dwellers, which is different from the recent one. Another issue that affects the common person's access to justice is the inordinately long numbers of years that courts take to hear a case. यानी ये जो सबसे बड़ा इशू है वो है कि एक एक केस बहुत टाइम तक किसी एक कोर्ट में लंबे समय तक चलता रहता है, उसकी हियरिंग नहीं आती है या उसका कोई डिसीजन नहीं आता है. द फ्रेज जस्टिस डिलेड इज जस्टिस डिनाइड, यानी अगर जस्टिस डिले होता है इसका मतलब कोर्ट उसे डिनाई कर रहा है, इज ऑफन यूज्ड टू कैरेक्टराइज दिस एक्सटेंडेड टाइम पीरियड दैट कोर्ट्स टेक. क्योंकि कोर्ट इतना टाइम लेता है जजमेंट में, तो ये माना जाता है कि अगर जस्टिस डिले हो रहा है मतलब जस्टिस डिनाई हो रहा है. However, in spite of this, there is no denying that the judiciary has played a crucial role in democratic India, serving as a check on the powers of the executive and the legislature as well as in protecting the fundamental rights of citizens. हमने अब तक जितनी एग्जाम्पल्स देखे उसके अकॉर्डिंग कहीं ना कहीं हमें ऐसा लगता है कि शायद कोर्ट के डिसीजन में कुछ गलतियां होती हैं या डिले हो रहा है, बट इन स्पाइट ऑफ ऑल दिस थिंग्स, इन सब चीज़ों के बावजूद ये कहा जा सकता है दैट इट इज़ प्लेइंग अ क्रूशियल रोल इन डेमोक्रेटिक इंडिया. स्पेशली इट इज़ कीपिंग अ चेक ऑन द पावर ऑफ द एग्जीक्यूटिव्स एंड legislature of the government, and it's protecting the fundamental rights of citizens. The members of the Constituent Assembly had quite correctly envisioned का मतलब जो imagination किया जाता है for future possibility, a system of courts with an independent judiciary as a key feature of our democracy. यानी जो हमारे Constituent Assembly के members थे उनका ये विजन रहा शायद कि उन्होंने इमेजिन किया कि फ्यूचर में किस तरह की पॉसिबिलिटीज़ आ सकती हैं, तो उसके अकॉर्डिंग उन्होंने जो सिस्टम ऑफ कोर्ट्स रखा विद एन इंडिपेंडेंट जुडिशरी, यानी जुडिशरी इंडिपेंडेंटली अपने डिसीजन ले सकती है, किसी के दबाव में नहीं आती है. डजेंट मैटर द पर्सन इज़ रिच और पुअर और ही इज़ अ पॉलिटिशियन और अ फेमस पर्सन, everybody is equal before the law. So it's a key feature of our democracy. So here our chapter ends up. Once again go through the chapter thoroughly. If you have any queries regarding any of the part of the chapter, let me know in the feedback in our WhatsApp group. Till then, thank you class.